focus. There's some more breaking news coming in. We're learning that the Sensex has rebounded after the rout. The Dalal Street has gained momentum. Sensex has jumped nearly 1,000 points and Nifty has leapt over 1%. This comes after yesterday's rout where essentially the Dalal Street, it was a bloodbath yesterday where Sensex had dropped over 2,000 points and Nifty had also dropped about 3% yesterday at that point. But when it comes to the markets today, the Dalal Street is gaining momentum. Specifically, the Sensex has rebounded and has jumped nearly 1,000 points. Nifty has also leapt over 1%. Now, this is the latest when we're talking about the markets, which after a day of seeing complete red, the markets have rebounded at this point. Now, yesterday, when the markets had fallen, it was essentially brought about by beliefs over the recession in the United States. But today, we're seeing that the Sensex has rebounded after yesterday's rout. The Dalal Street, after seeing a bloodbath yesterday, has gained momentum. And what we're learning about the specific update is that Sensex has jumped nearly 1,000 points at this point, while Nifty has leapt over 1%. We are crossing over to my colleague Hina to get us more on this. Hina, tell us more about what is boosting the markets at this point.
Well, yesterday what we saw in the market, the bloodbath literally, as many were calling it, was largely because of what happened in Japan, specifically in the global market. So that was being reflected on the Dalal Street here in India as well. There are fears of the U.S. economy slipping into recession. The change as far as the Bank of Japan's policy stance is concerned. Those were some of the factors that impacted the markets yesterday. But today what we are seeing is some sort of a recovery. Now, Indian markets will be looking forward to what's going to happen in the next few days. Say, for example, the RBI's Monetary Policy Committee meeting is happening this week. So markets are looking forward to the commentary by the Reserve Bank of India and what next on that aspect. Then there is some economic data from India that's expected to be released this week. So now the domestic triggers are very important for the Indian stock markets. Yesterday's bloodbath was primarily because of the external factors. And today, of course, things have come back to normal. Yesterday, investors lost a lot of money. But this morning, we are seeing some bit of a recovery. So that's largely domestic, because we've been saying always that the fundamentals are pretty strong as far as the Indian stock market is concerned. There are more retail investors that have come into the Indian market, and that's the reason why these external shocks, like what we saw yesterday, possible escalation in the Middle East, these kind of things can have an impact on the Indian stock markets for a brief moment. But then, of course, things come back to normal. That's the thing that we saw in the markets today as well. And as we speak, Sensex is up about 800 odd points. So some good news as far as the Dalal Street is concerned.
All right, Hina, thank you so much for joining us and explaining why exactly the markets are seeing a bit of a rebound today, especially with the recovery of, as Hina just mentioned, about 800 points in the Sensex. Now, with this, we're heading into a very short break, but do stay tuned because we'll be right back with more.